Hey everyone, just a quick warning here. There is some discussion of suicide in this episode of Drunkard's Walk. So if that is a sensitive topic for you, you may want to avoid the episode. If you or anyone you know is struggling with thoughts of suicide, please get some help. Call 1-800-273-8255 to reach the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Hey everybody, welcome to Drunkard's Walk, the podcast. It's me, Matt Hartman, one of the two hosts of this podcast that has been going on and on for, it's over 2 years now. Hey, congratulations to us for over 2 years of podcasting. And of course, when I say us, I do mean myself, and I do mean Jethro Nolan.
Hey, 2 years we've been doing this.
That's right.
Which is somehow 6 seasons in podcast time.
That's correct, yes. Well, when you only have 15 episodes a season and they come out every week, that's what happens. Don't do the math, because we do take weeks off. But anyway, we are delighted to be here. I'm delighted to be here because my arm is a little sore, Jethro.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Why so?
Well,
I expect honestly, there's some fantastical tale behind that.
Here's the thing. I have been outside. I've been playing a lot of baseball recently.
Have you?
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. So when I bought this land, I thought that I was just going to farm corn for the rest of my life. But I decided,
you have a lot of acreage.
I do. So I decided at one point. Well, actually, I had this kind of weird experience. I was out. I was outside, and I thought I heard this like voice talking to me, and essentially, I took it to mean that if I just tore up some of my corn and put in a baseball diamond, that shoeless Joe Jackson was going to get to come play baseball again. And it turns out I was right. So all these people came. There was a very wise author there from the 60s, Timothy Busfield, of course. And it's been really great. And in fact, my dad and I had kind of, my dad was on the podcast. We had kind of an awkward relationship. Well, I had a chance to finally get a catch with him. And gosh, it makes me cry every time I think about it. So it's really something. Man.
That is an astounding adventure that you've gone on. Yeah. I'm glad that you and your father were able to have a catch. But by the way, your father's still with us, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's still alive. Yeah,
okay.
It's fine. So that's great.
He didn't emerge as some sort of baseball ghost.
No. We just decided to have a catch. Because my daughter was eating a hot dog and fell off the bleachers and almost died, and so he was kind of like, we should get a catch before that happens to one of us. And so.
I also have to say that never in my life before or since, after seeing the movie Field of Dreams, which you are cleverly referencing, have I ever heard somebody say "have a catch," meaning to play catch with someone. Like I've always heard it as to play catch, not to have a catch. Yeah. It seems like such a weird thing. Yeah. Another weird thing, Timothy Busfield, who you referenced, despite the fact that that's an actor's name and not the character in the movie's name. Anyway, he was in a dramedy called 30 Something, which I thought was like, oh, these old people, they're stupid old people problems. Yeah. And now that I'm pushing 50, I'm like, oh, 30 Something. Yeah. God, although 30 Something today would be just people who haven't had kids yet because they're complaining about the college debt that they still hold.
Yeah, so. That's right. It would be a much different show. Actually, I think it would be called How I Met Your Mother. I'm pretty sure that's what 30-somethings are now.
Or I'm going to finally make it on a house team. One of those things.
Yeah, maybe. That could be. Well, that's a very specific subset of the population. But yeah.
I know my audience. Mm-hmm. Matt, you know this, but some of our listeners, if you're part of the big recent influx of brand new listeners that we have, we've got thousands of new listeners.
Which, Jethro, by the way, we might actually have. Let's be clear, because you know what started recently, and that is the best of the Berg voting at Pittsburgh Magazine, of which we are in the 5 podcasts that you can go and vote for. And you can do that all the way up until April 30th. Just go to pittsburghmagazine.com, look up the best of the Berg, click on vote now, go to personalities, find Drunkard's Walk podcast under the podcasts, give us a vote. We would love it. That would be amazing, because if we can win this, we might actually get a big influx of listeners, which would be, I think, fantastic. I think that would be great.
That's right. I think that would be fantastic. But for those new listeners who have been bought into the hype around the best of the Berg.
That's right.
We go from one Wikipedia page to another. The destinations are randomly chosen for us. We don't know what they're going to be, and we try to find the most efficient and most entertaining route between those links. And we're starting this week with the L train from the New York City subway service, which we covered last week. But we don't have a destination, Matt. We don't have one.
No, we don't, Jethro. And fortunately, what we do is we invite a guest on to give us that destination. Because if we were to pick it, we might pick one that was way too easy. Or way too hard. I don't know, but we like it to be a little more randomized. So we invite on guests, people that we know that we'd like to talk to and give us a destination.
Well, that would explain why sitting here in the corner of our Zoom call, we have my old friend and yours, Sue Salvi.
Hello.
Hey, Sue.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Hi. Hello. So Susan, you and I have known each other for a long time, but you've known my wife for even longer. How did you and Christy originally meet?
Oh, Christy and myself went to high school together.
Very nice.
Down the good old Woodland Hills High School. Turquoise, black, and white. Those were the colors of Woodland Hills back in our day. I'm not sure if they still are.
Oh, they are. They are. I went to a football game at the Woodland Hills Wolverine Dome or Beaver Dome or whatever it is.
It's not the Beaver Dome. It would be the Wolverine Dome.
It is one of the more ridiculous high school stadiums I've ever been to. There's no parking anywhere near it. Like you have to park miles away. And
wait,
walk.
But where is it? So it's not at the school?
It's not at the school. No, there is a football field by the school because I've jogged on the track around that, but the actual games were played at a place that has more seating that's a couple miles away from
an auxiliary field.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I only vaguely remember that. Maybe that happened in the midst of our going to high school there. I don't know.
Who's to say?
Well, but you probably remember.
Yeah, but you moved to Chicago, just like Christy did. I don't know who moved there first. If you followed her, if she followed you.
I followed her.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
and then that's where we met because I was dating Christy, and then she introduced me to you to kind of vet me to make sure that I was an appropriate match, and you clearly gave me the thumbs up.
I don't think I have that sway, really.
But yeah, so
like if I was like, I don't think so, Christy. I don't think she would have been like breaking it off with you.
I don't know. I don't know.
You were already well entangled from Amsterdam.
Yeah, but I don't know. First of all, Christy's very fickle.
Yeah, I think she was looking for any excuse at that point.
Yeah, she really was at that point. But Sue did improv at the old Improv Olympic before they got sued and had to change their name. But she's a legendary talent and is also married to an improviser, Paul Grandi. So when we get together for dinner, the bits fly fast and furious, and it is a grand old time. But so you're also a published authoress, is that correct?
That's right. I mean, I don't know if formally, if that's what is that a female author?
I
don't think so.
I'm sure that it is.
I'm an authorette, which is a tiny author.
Oh,
that is
little
true.
Tiny, yeah, it's not a bit of an author.
Can you tell the good people about your book?
Yes, it's a book and it's entitled Someday a Bird Will Poop on You. And basically it's just a book about how terrible things are going to happen to you in life. Prepare yourself. And really, you cannot control these terrible things that happen. You can only control your reaction to them.
That's a great message. Wow, that was the whole book right there.
Okay, well, but still buy the book, everybody. Still buy the book. It's still worth it.
Absolutely, yeah. You can get it for $1.65 on Amazon. So that's a bargain. You do have to pay $3.98 in delivery, but it's more, and that's from Glenn the bookseller.
Oh, so that's a used copy.
I guess so.
Okay,
I guess so. But it's a wonderful book. It's beautifully illustrated and it's fun. And also, it's a true message. Bad things will happen to you, and you need to develop the ability to react to that kind of stuff well. Do you think that you've passed that lesson on to your kids?
That's kind of why I wrote it, but I don't know. It's easier to say than do, right?
Yeah.
So
it's always challenged because the wisdom we wish we could pass on to our children is not always what they want to hear from us. And so sometimes you'll plant a seed and you're like, oh, this will bear fruit in like a week or two. They'll learn this lesson and incorporate it into how they live. And like, no, sometimes it's just like years later that, oh, they finally.
Or sometimes it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Sometimes then they don't want to do that because you told them to.
Yeah. It has the stink of parental approval all over it. So you have to get really tricky with your reverse psychology and trying to not look like you're pushing something, but still pushing something.
That's right.
You'll discover these problems soon enough, Matt.
I've already discovered those problems. Don't worry.
How old is Penny?
She's 5.
7? She's 5?
Oh, yeah.
That's you. It's going to get so much worse.
Oh, I understand it's going to be worse. Don't get me wrong. I see it. I see it already.
All right. Well, whatever you think you see, like magnify it by 100.
Yeah. I also taught high school for a long time, so I understand what happens.
It's so easy to disassociate from kids that aren't yours. It's super like
you still see it happening though. You still observe it happening. It didn't happen to me, but I see it. I saw it. I'm aware of it. That's all.
Nobody makes you madder than your own kids, honest to God.
Bingo.
Sure.
Bingo.
That makes sense.
She gets it.
I can believe that.
Well, just make sure you have a catch with Penny before you die and get buried in a baseball cornfield.
I mean, I was going to say that actually is a phrase that I hear a lot. Mm-hmm. And I was like you, Jethro, when I first heard it, like, that's an odd way to say, let's go play catch. But I think that's like that when people say, let's have a catch, that's a common way now, like to say that.
Yeah.
Is it common because Field of Dreams poisoned the culture into thinking that was a normal?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think it was probably familiar in like the world of baseball. That's what I want to believe. I want to believe that people who played baseball used that type of terminology. That's what I want to believe.
So this you believe that. That's
what I want to believe.
Okay, so you go ahead and want to believe that.
Thank you.
I want to get the data.
I see.
So if you're not familiar with Google Ngrams, it is a search engine that searches printed material like Susan's book, going back hundreds of years, and you can see the relative frequency of phrases.
Okay.
So the phrase play catch and have a catch, they both were relatively rare until shortly after the 1960s, when play catch became wildly more popular and have a catch became a little bit more popular, but not until like the late 90s. So there's clearly a Field of Dreams effect on have a catch, but play catch is way more used, way more common.
Sure.
Okay.
Good research.
I thought maybe it was what's it called when a regional thing.
It could. It's possible that it was, but it's still play catch is still vastly more popular.
But you're saying you're only searching written material, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't yet have a database of every word people have spoken.
So my point is that it could have just been more of a verbal tradition to use that type of parlance, that it wouldn't be written down very often.
Okay, but is there any reason to believe that the verbal tradition of a particular language and the written tradition of a particular language vary wildly?
Look up what are yins doing and see how often that's used.
Yins, just yins, flat lines, and explodes around 2000.
Okay, well, guess what? It was being used a lot way before that by people who were just speaking it and not writing it down. So I'll use that as my data point for you.
Yeah, but y'all is the same thing. It's the second person plural invention of the South, and it's way more popular than yins.
Yes, yes, but it's not the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing.
It is literally a different word.
It's a different word, but it serves the same grammatical function, and it is a creation of slang that has made its way into the language, which is both written and spoken.
I'm sorry. So the Google Enneagram, what's it called? Google
Engrams.
Enneagram says yins starts only to be used in the 2000s.
Oh, so again,
a lot more in the 2000s.
It gets used a lot more in 2000. For some reason, it explodes after 2000. And by explodes, I mean relative to the very, very low level that it was at beforehand.
Right.
So, if it was printed once a year for, 100 years, then it got printed 3 times a year. Then that's tripled in its volume or whatever. Well, as fun as Google Ngrams discussions
Talk more
can
about
be,
the language.
We have to find out where we are going today. And Susan, I know you're a bit of a wild card. You like to keep things spicy. You like to throw a curveball every now and then. So I'm dying to see what our destination is going to be that you've brought us today.
Well, first off, let me just say that I'm thrilled to be thought of as a wild card.
You are.
Nothing makes me happier. And
glad I could give you that.
In keeping with being a wild card, I actually was kind of wild carding myself because I was kind of ping-ponging all over the place about what page I wanted to bring forth. I thought to myself, do I want to be helpful with like a lot of links on there, a lot of diversified links? I thought, do I want to, like, I wasn't sure what the goal was. Did I want to like trip you up?
There's so many different strategies.
Yeah. Did I want to make you challenge? Did I want to challenge you? Or did I just want to bring interesting topics to the forefront of that possibly get a boost at Google Ngrams then? I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
So which of those strategies did you land on?
I think it's the third one, but we'll see. I don't know. The third one was bring something a little more interesting to the table. I don't know. That sounds kind of braggish to say it that way, but
no,
not at all. Not at all.
Can I just tell you my path that I went down?
Please tell me your thought process.
I'm like, I'm going to do one of my favorite things that I kind of obsess about, and that is Aldi.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Okay. I love the grocery store Aldi. I think it's a very unique grocery store. It has a very specific mission for its consumers, which is get in, get out, get the best products, get products imported, save them a lot of money.
Yeah.
Went on that webpage. It's actually a very thorough webpage, the Wikipedia page, I mean. And it had a lot of links. I think that would have been helpful to you. It also had an interesting backstory about the brothers that invented Aldi. But then I was on Instagram today, and coincidentally, I was still kind of waffling about doing Aldi. Coincidentally, on Instagram, Eric Stone Street posted I don't know if it's a paid ad for Aldi or if he just loves Aldi too. And then I'm like, oh, that reminded me of Christy, because Christy and him were on a team together at one time in improv.
That's right.
So I'm like, okay, does this solidify my Aldi Wikipedia page choice, or is it overkill now? Is it Aldi overkill? Then as I'm looking at the Wikipedia page, I thought of, I don't know how, I don't know, some association I had reminded me of this awesome story that I used to like, which was about this Norman Rockwell painting that was found in someone's walls. And it was the painting Breaking Home Ties. And it was this man, this cartoonist had bought this Norman Rockwell painting for $900, and then he didn't want his wife to get it in the divorce. So he hid it in his walls and painted a fake.
Okay.
I thought that was an interesting story. I don't know. I always think about that for some reason. Yeah. I guess I think I'm hoping something's buried in my walls. Then,
there's more. Keep going.
Yeah. So, because I didn't land on it yet. I didn't land on the Wikipedia page yet.
Okay.
Then I thought about Grandma Moses, who's just an inspiration to everybody.
Sure.
She really is.
And then I went back to Instagram
just to see if she had an Instagram page, right?
This is quite the journey. This might have to be a two-parter episode where the first part is just Susan telling us her thought process.
Wait, I went back to Instagram and somebody was like, "Oh, you would like this one page." And I went on I looked at this new Instagram account and they had these toys on it called Wonderful Waterfalls. Do you remember those toys?
Oh, where you press the buttons and you try to get like the hoops to land on things. Oh yeah, that was like video games for the pre-digital era in the early 1980s.
Yeah. Exactly. And I used to love those. So I'm like, that's it. That's the Wikipedia page. Well, unfortunately, they don't have a Wikipedia page.
Oh no.
Okay, but then finally I realized I don't know what sort of mix of everything that was going on in my mind brought me to this Wikipedia page. It is the Salish Sea human foot discovery.
What?
And that is basically, for the last 15 or so years, a bunch of not decapitated, but disembodied feet in shoes have been washing up on the shores of the Salish Sea.
Where is the Salish Sea?
I think it's off of Vancouver. Let me see. Oh, off of Washington.
All right, so it's off of the northwest coast of the United States.
Yeah. And okay. So this is the one I finally landed on. Number one, because I like the idea of like feet without bodies.
You like the idea of feet without bodies. Okay.
Like I like murders and like mysteries. And it's such a weird, like, could you imagine just like these feet washing up on shore?
No.
And then
I'm happy to say that I can't.
So for the last,
I can imagine it, but
the last 15 years, like 20 feet have washed up on these shores. So there's insane. Kind of a mystery aspect to it too.
Huh.
That is incredible.
All right. So Salish, S-A-L-I-S-H?
Yeah. S-A-L-I-S-H.
Okay.
That is amazing. I feel like you could have trimmed a little bit of that story. I don't know why Eric Stone Street had to get name dropped in there.
Well, because I was just keeping it natural.
You did in fact keep it natural.
So I'm sorry.
That is amazing.
Let me make sure again. This is the title of the Wikipedia page is Salish Sea Human Foot Discovery. That's the title of the page?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
That is absolutely incredible. I can't wait to find out more about it because I have never discovered a disembodied foot.
I haven't discovered any disembodied limb or even like a finger.
No. Yeah, no. I'm happy to say that I haven't either. Even a finger I haven't found.
Wow. Well, I got to say, that's pretty incredible. And thank you. I hope that our journey to that Wikipedia page is as entertaining and enjoyable as the journey we just went on to hear your thought process behind how you picked that.
Do you want to know why the feet are being washed up, or do you want to discover that on?
No. We have to discover that.
Yeah, we got to find that out on our own.
Okay.
But they know, so there's an answer?
Yeah, but it's not on the Wikipedia page.
Oh, well, I don't know then, Jethro. Do we want to know now, or do we want to look it up after we've... Because if we know, it might help us get there.
That's true. What is it, Susan? How are feet showing up? Wait a minute. Is it when there was one set of footprints? That's when Jesus solved the crime.
So it's just somebody doing this with feet along the along the beach.
It's still slightly a mystery.
Okay.
The reason that the feet are being washed up, there's only speculation about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know.
So what's the leading
There's only
theory?
speculation.
The leading theory that these random are washing up on these shores is that these people have died of an accident.
Well, okay. I think that's pretty clear.
So it's not foot donors at sea. Okay, good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
It's still, to me, that sounds suspicious. Like 20 accident, like, I don't know. That sounds weird to me. It's just like, it's okay. They died of an accident, guys. It was an accident.
That's it. It's just an accident. Don't worry about it.
That's the type of thing that sounds like an explanation, but absolutely isn't an explanation.
Not at all.
That's what I mean. It's weird. So apparently these people have died of an accident /or suicide. And then
suicide.
Who kills themselves by cutting off their feet?
No, they don't. No, they don't. That's not. They don't cut off their own feet to die. They've thrown their bodies into the water to die.
Sure.
And then some beaver gnaws off their ankles.
Yes, that's actually kind of what it is. Not a beaver, even though that's the second time you brought up beaver.
Be a wolverine.
Yeah. They fall into the water, or they kill themselves into the water, and then their human bodies float to the bottom, but scavengers chew off their feet, and they can't get through. They can't get through to the actual foot because of the shoes. And apparently seriously.
Wait, so these are feet with shoes on?
Yeah.
Their feet with shoes on them.
Yeah.
Well, you left that part out.
No, she said that. Okay. She said that they've been showing up with shoes on.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
So anyways, and because shoes have gotten so much better.
Oh, right. So back in the olden days, they would just show up without shoes on, or not at all, because they would be able to eat the whole foot. But now
the scavenger could eat through the shoes that weren't as bad. But now shoes are so like sturdy, the scavenger animals in the water cannot eat through the shoe, and so this makes them float back up to the top.
Well, I'll tell you, none of these feet are wearing Reeboks, because those things fall apart like no problem just by wearing them.
Just a slightly tardy trigger warning for any of our listeners who have.
Oh, don't worry. I'm going to put one at the top of the episode because
what separation issues that have been triggered by this?
Holy cow! Well,
wowsy. Okay,
so would you do me a favor?
Human foot.
Would you promise me that you'll write a sequel to your book called "Someday You'll Find a Foot"? Because I think we need to.
Scavenger will gnaw your ankle off.
Holy
after you
cow.
commit ocean suicide.
I love it.
Wow.
This is without a doubt the craziest topic we've ever gotten.
I feel like you guys have not, just from skimming through the top, you haven't, like, I gravitate to like the murdery, the salacious-y type things. There hasn't been a lot of that. I mean, I'm always Googling some like murder that happened or some murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. That's not a red flag at all.
Nope. I'm making the call right now. Actually, everything will be fine.
Good deal. Well, Susan, I cannot thank you enough. This is an incredible destination. I can't wait to learn more about it, and I think it's going to be a bit of a challenge for us, but that's exactly what we like here. So, thank you so much for coming on.
Okay.
And I look forward to your next trip to Pittsburgh or my next trip to Chicago, so we can hang out again.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Great meeting you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. All right, the Salish Sea human foot discoveries.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wowsy bowsy. So
from the New York from L.
From the L train. You know, and it's funny because I figured New York is going to have its own amount of body discoveries popping up.
It may
here, there, and everywhere.
But we got some business
we got to do first.
Yeah, we got to make some predictions.
We do, in fact.
And so I'm going to do that now. And go ahead and write down a number here.
Matt, I just want to tell you that the prediction that I've made, people are going to talk about it for years.
Really?
Years.
All right. That sounds good.
Absolutely.
I love it. Mine's just fine.
And also like drinky poos.
Oh yeah.
We have,
so for those that are joining us for the first time, we do call it Drunkard's Walk, not because we are drinking, but because that is a mathematical principle about going off taking a random path and winding up back at your origin, which is kind of what we do with our topics here. But we do also occasionally have a drink with us. I haven't the past couple of weeks, but this week I do. Jethro?
Me too. I'm back on the sauce as well.
Yeah, what do you got?
I have a rapidly diminishing glass of Woodford Reserve. The problem is I pour this before we get on the Zoom call, and then I'm just drinking the whole time. So by the time we get around to asking, I've already 3 sheets to the wind. What about you?
I am drinking I have mixed a drink tonight, and I am drinking a cherry pie old fashioned.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds delicious.
It's fantastic. It is absolutely a sweet, like dessert type of drink, but it is. I use a maple walnut bourbon, a cherry liqueur, black walnut bitters, and maple syrup. A bourbon barrel aged maple syrup. And those all go in together, and you mix them up. You garnish with a cherry, or if you have some walnuts, which I unfortunately don't, so I just have some cherries in there. But it is fantastic, and I'll tell you, I've tried it with regular bourbon. It tastes a little more like your typical old fashioned, with a little bit of sweetness in there. But when you add that maple walnut bourbon, it turns into a piece of cherry pie in a glass. It's fantastic.
Wow, that sounds incredible. I'm very jealous.
Yeah, you gotta try it out, man. It's great. It's the only reason to buy cherry liqueur that I could figure. So
well, there you go.
But I'm working my way through it. All right, man.
All right,
so we're gonna do this thing, huh?
We are gonna do it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get going then, because I have a feeling. I mean, I don't want to tell you what I guessed, but since we both guessed already, I have a feeling this might take us a little longer than usual.
I think there could be a link to the Salish Sea foot discoveries on the L Train page.
Well, if it was New York City foot discoveries, then maybe.
I don't know how far west the L Train goes.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that far. But I could be wrong. And of course, I don't want to go. We both used some geography in the last couple of weeks. I want to try to avoid that if we can. So if we can avoid, jump into Washington State or something like that, I would like to do that. We might not be able to. We might have to. But
I'm on board. I'm all on board. The
L Train.
I want our path to get there to be as circuitous and non-logical as Susan's story about how she went from Aldi to this foot disaster.
Yeah, wonderful waterfalls and everything in there. Boy, I do wish that had a page, because I do remember those with a lot of fondness. I really love those things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And for kids, if you don't know what we're talking about, it was like this. It almost looked like a very, very small aquarium, but it was tall and it was thin. And it had, like, on the base, this white button that you would push, which would create air bubbles in the water. And then there were all these little, like, there were rings, or there was something that you had to move with the air bubbles. And then there was, like, little things that they could hook onto, or there were all kinds of, some of them had beads in them. And it was just like a game. It was like a skill game that you had to try to do. And man, they were just a blast.
I would say it was probably, if not the last, then one of the last mechanical entertainment games to be broadly sold. Like, it was right as personal digital gaming was coming online. And since then, everything's been digital.
I mean, I feel that there are still some out there, but you're right. They are few and far between, for sure. So
yeah. Like the last one that went mainstream, there's always going to be like a niche thing, like, your blacksmith puzzles or whatever. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So L Train, here it is. New York City subway service.
Yeah, here it is.
We've got gentrification listed as a possibility, and nothing says gentrification more than people severing,
like losing a foot.
On beaches.
I do see a link to Hurricane Sandy, which does get us into kind of nautical types of terrible events. So,
death and suffering, that's where we're headed.
Death and suffering on the water, let's be clear. So, it's possible that these things are being caused by a hurricane. I mean, for all we know.
I'm looking for the Hudson River because I got to feel like the Hudson River is got to have some bodies popping up every now and then.
I don't see any rivers listed on here, although, I mean, it might just be because I haven't gotten there yet, but this is not a super long page. I do have to say that.
It is not, but Andrew Cuomo was on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he's got some baggage.
Sure.
There's probably some things happening in his family tree that might end up with somebody getting thrown in.
Something is afoot, is what you're saying?
I see what you did there.
Mm-hmm. You like that? I decided to use that now. I was going to save it, but I used it now. I don't see a ton on here that is a real good way out. I'm starting to look down under the little purple drop down New York City subway area, but even that doesn't seem to have a lot because it's all about the subway, obviously. So what do you like? Hurricane Sandy? Is that where your heart is taking you? I mean, it's a possibility. You know what actually is on here that might be something? Oh gosh, I don't even want to suggest it because it feels like the July 2005 London tube bombings? No, that was bad too. But the Americans with Disabilities Act is on here. I understand. Yeah. I understand, but I'm just saying. Just in case we haven't offended all of our listeners. I'm not. But I still might be a possibility. I'm gonna say that I don't like, other than the incredibly thoughtful and tasteful reasons not to go there. Yes. Which of course don't impact me at all because I'm You're not really worried about that. That's why I thought okay bringing it up. I just don't think it's going to be that quick because like somebody having their foot gnawed off by a sea scavenger after a suicide, I don't really think has a huge overlap with disability. Well, we don't know that that's why, but I guess what I was saying is that there's going to be Susan was very clear. There's potentially something on there about people who are amputees, and people who are amputees are connected to people who don't have feet, and people who don't have feet are the people that we're dealing with here. So this is my path. This is my connection. I understand what you're tenuous. I hear the words that you're saying. I get it. I just don't think you have a leg to stand on with that. Oh, yikes. Yikes. Okay. Wow. We are going straight to hell. I feel like amputees, like they know where the foot ends up. Sure. Well, actually, it's not like the doctor cuts the foot off and then just chucks it into the sea. It probably doesn't put it in a shoe either. Probably not. Yeah. Probably not. But there are people who have lost limbs through accidents that would be that the American Disabilities Act is for as well. So there might be accidents listed in there too that cause bodily harm. But if we're going to go to accidents, then we've got subway systems. We got rapid transit. Yeah, like there's all sorts of dismembering accidents that happen via the rapid transit. Are they discussed? Are they listed? I don't know. That's the issue here. So I don't know. Eventually they are. I guess Hurricane Sandy is the best route out of here, although even that feels terrible to go to. Like it's... I don't listen, we're not celebrating these things. No, not at all. If you've made it into season 6 of this podcast, you know the deal. We talk about some weird stuff. We've got some lighthearted jests about it, but we're not making light of real human suffering, but we've got a certain psychosocial distance from it, so we feel like we can make fun of people who died in 1919 in the Great Molasses Flood. Yeah, it's true. That's true. All right, well, is that where you want to go? I love it. Hurricane Sandy it is. You would love it, wouldn't you? All right, Hurricane Sandy. 2000, what was it? 12? 2012. And not to be confused with the 2015 Pacific Hurricane Sandra. Oh, no, of course not. No. Which is also linked here, but that gets us to the Pacific. Oh. If we go with Hurricane Sandra. Yeah, it's a little bit of geography, I feel like, but it is. It's fair. It's a fair. This is Hurricane Sandy. This is October to November of 2012. So we're almost at 10 years since that occurred. And obviously some terrible devastation occurred. We're not going to, make any jokes about that part of it. But let's see. What was this? High sustained wind, 115 miles per hour. That's some I immediately went down to this section of the page that says baby boom, where New Jersey hospitals saw a spike in births 9 months after Sandy, causing some to believe that there was a post-Sandy baby boom. Huh. The Monmouth Medical Center saw a 35% jump,
and 2 other hospitals saw a 20%. Who is like, oh, it's a hurricane? You know what? That makes me really horny.
Well, it's just people are stuck inside, I think is the idea. Like no power,
Clearly.
Can't go anywhere, nothing to do.
Yeah.
So this is what you're going to do. They were talking about that. There was a blizzard one time that hit DC, and they were talking about the fact that was gonna have that effect because it was like 5 or 6 days that just nobody had work and nobody was going anywhere, and they're like, oh, that's what's gonna happen now. So I'm just saying.
There you go.
That's what occurs. President Obama is on this page. We've got
thanks, Obama.
Intelligence gathering ship. Ooh, that sounds cool. There are a lot of there are sounds talked about. I mean, obviously, this is on the East Coast, as you mentioned, so it is not going to have. Oh well, hold on. I do have Colorado Springs, Colorado linked on the page, so I guess I shouldn't assume that everything on here is going to be that.
Yeah, Mitt Romney's listed on here.
Mitt Romney. Well, there you go.
He's out in Utah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Chesapeake Bay is on here. So we've got bodies of water, but again, that's a little geographical. Delaware, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Hey, Governor Tom Corbett's on here.
Your old friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Clearly there's got to be some
New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma. So there's a lot of but I'm not seeing anything about I see intensive care units, but that doesn't feel. It feels like the same issue.
We're gonna go through death to get here.
Are we?
I mean, we're going to a page that's about people's disembodied feet. So
I feel like we need to find some other weird instance where things like that occur. Like, is there another? Can you think of a story of things like this happening anywhere else in the world?
So if the question are there like unexplained phenomenon that's
but
like
specifically related to this type of thing?
Oh, okay, but I got to get there through something. So like if the idea is like, hey, there's unexplained phenomenon or deaths that haven't, been figured out, like, sure, I just can't think of one off the top of my head.
How about Bermuda?
Ooh, okay. All right. I see where you're going there.
Yeah, you like that?
I see where you're going there. I do like that. Is Bermuda on here?
Bermuda is on here a number of times, actually.
Okay, so Bermuda will get us to Bermuda Triangle. I like that. I like that line of thought. I like it.
That's what I'm thinking. Unexplained phenomenon. My concern is that there's so many different unexplained phenomena out there that are they all going to be on one page together? Like, I don't, that's what I'm not sure.
No,
about.
but you can link to a subset. Like, there's going to be unexplained stuff, and then there's going to be unexplained stuff where there's dead bodies involved.
Okay, I guess that's true. I see beach erosion on here, which leads to coastal erosion. The Coast Guard is on here.
I feel like if feet are washing ashore, then that's the exact opposite of. Because normally beach erosion is when a beach loses feet over the course of the week.
I can't believe you did that. Oh, no.
This is already my favorite episode.
Is it?
It really is.
Oh, my good Lord. Yeah, I mean, gosh, this is a long page right here.
It is a big deal.
There's a lot coming out of here. U.S. Route 1, Interstate 95, those both go north-south. I-76 is on here. That might get us all the way out there. But again, as geography says, what am I doing?
I mean, I wouldn't second guess yourself in terms of Bermuda as a link.
Yeah.
I know it's geographic, but it does get us to Bermuda Triangle and we can't fiddle around all day.
I mean, could we just get to the Flatwoods Monster again and just go from there? Because I see West Virginia on here. That
would be a nice tie-in. No, but the Flatwoods Monster famously had feet.
You don't know that, actually. You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure I do. Pretty sure I do.
I think you're guessing. I think you're assuming that there are feet there.
I am making a calculated bet of my arrogance that
as you do.
I am as one does. Let's get Mike Rhodes on the horn right now.
As you do. Let's not put this on everyone else.
As one does. I feel like we all do it from time to time. I may be slightly more aggressive as a gambler in that regard, just than some.
Yeah.
But I like Bermuda. Let's go to Bermuda.
You think Bermuda's the way to go?
I think you had a great initial gut instinct and then started to second guess yourself.
I wish Bermuda Triangle itself was on here, but I don't see that. I just see Bermuda. So Bermuda it is geography, but I feel like it's a little different, and I'm okay with it because it's not taking a geographical route specifically, right? So we doing it?
Literally geography. Yeah,
well, it is, but we're not taking Bermuda. It to get to anyway. We're not trying to get to Bermuda, I guess is my point.
This is true.
We're trying to get to something that's related to Bermuda, and so
the Bermuda Triangle.
Correct. So, I mean, that's got to be just linked on here, right? There's got to be
presumably it is.
Economy, education, geography.
There we go. Bermuda gives its name to the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh yes, there it
is. Also known as the Devil's Triangle.
There it is.
I mean, that's why we came here. Do we want to look around for just in case there's some Bermuda beach with feet washing up on it? Or
no, I'm not interested in that, to be honest with you. Let's just go to the Bermuda Triangle.
All right, here we go. Also known as the Devil's Triangle, is an urban legend centered around a loosely defined region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean where a number of aircraft and ships are said to have disappeared under mysterious circumstances.
Yeah, and they haven't really. I mean, they've kind of proven that this is all bunk, that no more has gone down than any other place. But paranormal...
Thanks, Captain Facts.
Paranormal is linked on here. Skepticism is linked on here. Parapsychology is linked on here. I mean, I love it already.
Urban legend is linked on.
Urban legend. Well, this isn't really an urban legend, right?
No, it's the legend of the beach with all the feet.
But it's true. It's actually happened. Aren't urban legends not
laugh.
real?
I know. The origin of all of these stories is very sad, but it just makes me laugh. The idea of feet just washing up. I mean, presumably these people are dead, but you know what? There could be a whole bunch of people hobbling around alive without feet. And they've got a story to tell.
What if there's some island somewhere where they are just trying to communicate and they keep sending messages, but they keep washing off of the shoe, and so they're like, well, that's the only way we can. It's the only way we can.
Hold on. So you and I are stuck on an island, and you're like, hey, Jethro, we need to send a message to the mainland.
Correct. Yes.
Write a message on your shoe then cut off your foot.
That's it. But hold on. You're assuming that this is the first thing we're trying. I'm not implying that. That would be insane. I'm saying we've tried everything else.
Wow.
This is what we're stuck with.
Remind me never to get stranded on an island with you.
I'm just saying, if we've tried everything else, it might be worth it.
There you go. Edgar Cayce is linked here.
Yeah.
UFOs.
I see. UFO. Amazing. Yeah. Manganese ore is on here. I'm not seeing. I don't know what I'm hoping to see here. Odd occurrence or something. I don't know what is the word I'm actually looking for. I don't even know.
Unexplained mysteries.
Maybe. How about list of topics characterized as pseudoscience? That's a see also thing.
Oh, that's right. We could scroll down to the bottom. Conspiracy theories is linked there.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a big possibility.
Really? You think it doesn't really seem like a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
List of Bermuda Triangle incidents.
There is conspiracy theories. If you expand, you can see a list of a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of different types of core topics within conspiracy theories. There's psychology, avoidable accidents. There's various deaths and disappearances.
Oh, I thought you were going to say deaths and dismemberments.
No. World domination, UFOs, United States policies, health, energy, environment, other. Wow, this is incredible. Just other conspiracy theories.
I see under UFO, cattle mutilation is in there. I don't know. That seems like kind of doesn't that seem like the same type of thing? Like that same type of like, oh, here's a thing that's happening that we can't explain. An unexplained phenomenon, an unsolved mystery, if you will. How about crop circles are on here as well?
Yeah, but crop circles are a known.
Oh yeah, they figured that out. They figured that one out, did they?
Yeah, I mean that's been known for a long time. That it's just some guys with a board.
Oh, guys that are bored or with a board.
Bingo, both.
Okay,
is the case.
Bingo, bango.
I don't know. I feel like crop circles and cow mutilation are all kind of variants of the same kind of thing.
Okay. But I agree that they are the same type of thing. Oh my God, the Flatwoods Monster is on this page.
What?
Under UFOs.
Are you still on Bermuda Triangle? Or
No. The purple expanded thing at the bottom.
Oh, nice.
Flatwoods Monster right there.
He's quickly surpassing Pliny the Elder as our reference.
He is. I just did a drink. Space Jellyfish is on here too. Mystery Airship. What about Mystery Airship?
I love that band.
Yeah, they're decent. They're a little derivative.
The Mystery Airplane is better. The original.
Yeah, for sure. Like them a lot better.
Or I guess I should have said Mystery Starplane. All right, it's a Jefferson Airplane joke.
We get it. We get it. Yeah. United States politics, health. What about health conspiracies? No. Gosh, I don't know, man. I don't know. The Knights Templar is on here. New Coke is under conspiracy theories. Earth mysteries? Is that what you said?
Yeah. So under the old links there at the bottom, Earth mysteries is one of the categories that links.
Oh. Kurt Cobain is linked on here. That'll get us out to Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that's kind of how I felt about it too. I don't know, man. This is mass hysteria is on here. You think maybe
cats and dogs living together?
Yeah.
Mass hysteria.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are kind of like in the neighborhood of what's going on.
They just all seem too specific to me. Like, I feel like we're going to go to them and then we're not going to be able to get out of them to anything that we need, right? They're all very specific types of things.
Yeah, but you can always go back out to something more vague outside of that.
Yeah, I guess, but that's you don't generally like to do that. You like to be more specific.
I do like to get more specific, but hey, any port in a storm here.
Oh, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing because we're in the Bermuda Triangle, so any port in a storm. Huh?
There you go.
The Sargasso Sea. If we went to the Sargasso Sea, I bet we would find links to other seas, and then we could get there through that sea. But that's very much a geographical path. So
it is, and if we were going to go to a geographical path, wouldn't we want to go to like Washington State?
Oh, is that on here?
No, I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, I think seas to seas is an easy path from this particular page.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. Skeptical researchers. It's probably not going to. Well, I guess no. Skepticism's not going to go to. We need unsolved mysteries. Why is there not a link to unsolved mysteries, like the show on this page? How's that not on here?
That is a fair point.
It feels like this would be their first episode.
Yeah, it's true. You make excellent points.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought that I did. Urban legend. I see again. Argument from ignorance. Bandwagon effect. Begging the question. Cognitive dissonance. No, none of these seem to be the thing that I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I make a call, man. I'm ready to follow you somewhere because I don't know what to say on this one.
Let's go with Sargasso Sea.
Really, you want to go through the geographical route?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like I guess the thing that I'm not seeing on here that I would like to see is the idea of unexplained phenomenon. And with the exception of UFOs,
I mean,
which is really
UFO might
it's
be
in
the
a
way
different
to go.
direction.
Well, but I mean, but it might have a link. UFO is general enough that I might be okay doing that. Like the things that I don't want to go to are like the Jimmy Carter viewing of a UFO or something like that. Kenneth Arnold, like Roswell, like these are the things that I don't want to go to. But UFO, I might be convinced to go to UFO.
Well, we've been to UFO before on the podcast, and I don't. Do we have? Is there a standing precedent in the podcast? Can we revisit a page that we've been through already?
Is that an
accidental records walk?
We've done it before. I mean, we've gone to like the Beatles. We've been to the Beatles more than once and things like that.
Let's go through UFOs.
Yeah, I mean, it's not what we want to do all the time, but I think it's better than going through geography. It just feels too cheap.
I totally agree. So too UFO cheap. It is.
All right, where can I find UFO?
It is linked at the bottom in the purple bars there.
Oh, I have it. I have it up higher as well, but UFOs it is.
We see a link to our good old friend Flatwoods Monster there.
Yes, indeed. All right, UFOs. So yeah, Committee for Skeptical Inquiry. God, maybe we should have just gone to skeptics. Maybe that would have been the best way. Well, anyway, too late for that.
It's possible.
There's all kinds on here. Yeah, the Foo Fighter. I remember. I do remember. I remember being on this page. Men in Black. Reported sightings. Just unexplained phenomenon. No, that's not it. Celestial phenomenon over Nuremberg.
Oh boy.
That's not going to help me either. Mass panic. Hypnosis. Alien autopsy. Yeah, these are all pretty good. The X-Files is on here, of course. Close
ufology.
Yeah. I remember that one. Gosh, I really thought that we were going to see something on here, but I'm not seeing it. Well, I haven't gone through much of the page yet, honestly. How about you? You seen anything that relates to these unexplained phenomenon?
I'm seeing list of conspiracy theories down there.
Yeah. But that's not really what this is, right?
No, not really.
I don't even see the word unexplained. Unidentified obviously comes up all the time, but I don't see unexplained anywhere. How is that?
I see unexplained. I'm just not seeing it linked.
Oh, okay. Yes. Sorry. That's kind of what I meant. Usably. I'm not seeing it usably here.
All right.
We got the New York Times. Do you think they ever did a story about the feet?
Probably not one that landed on their front page of their Wikipedia page.
Probably not. Liverpool is on here. There's London Heathrow Airport, so we're back into the UK. Ball lightning is on here.
Really?
It is.
Look at that.
A little discussed conclusion of the report was that novel meteorological plasma phenomenon akin to ball lightning were responsible for the majority, if not all, of otherwise inexplicable sightings, especially reports of black triangle UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's interesting. Null hypothesis is on here. Hoaxes. I guess that's not the same thing. Unless this is a hoax, but they haven't really proven it as a hoax yet, right? So,
I feel like if it's a hoax, somebody's really going a long way.
Well, if they're real, we don't know that they're real, right? I guess.
I feel like
they probably are, else it wouldn't be a story.
People would be able to very clearly distinguish between a real human foot and a non-real human foot.
Or so you think. You're no doctor.
I'm doctor enough. I don't think you need to be a doctor to be able to say like, oh, that's a real human foot versus like, oh, that's paper mache.
Well, if it was paper mache, that's probably true. I see the Oregon Daily Emerald on here.
Okay,
So
I see where you're going with that.
Oregon gets us in that
geographic
in that area
without being geographic.
Yeah, it's geographic without being geographic, right? Yeah, I still don't see. Oh, I see the USS Enterprise. I see Star Trek.
Of course you do.
Okay, wait. Let me think about how many episodes were there where they lost their feet.
You're grasping at straws, Hartman.
Gosh, yeah, I can only think of there's that Spock's foot episode, but that was generally not. Yeah, no, I I don't think there are any.
All right then.
All right. Well, fringe science, metaphysics. Oh, how about the leather subculture? That's on here.
I'm down. Let's go.
You're ready to go to leather subculture?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like the Oregon newspaper or whatever that was. Because I don't know.
Where's the link for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I went past it already, so it's gone now. It is under Disclosure Advocates, which is under Conspiracy Theories, which is under Governmental, perhaps? I don't know what the main topic heading here is, but it's the Oregon Daily Emerald.
Okie dokie. All right, I'm down with that.
Yeah? Is that the way to go?
I mean, I don't have a better answer.
Not sure what else to do to get out of here. I wish we could go through something crazy, but it looks like we're going to a newspaper, so...
There it is.
It actually just takes you to Daily Emerald.
The University of Oregon in Eugene, Oregon, United States.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm. You don't suppose they did a story about this, do you?
I will say this, that under the history of the Daily Emerald, there are 3 paragraph headings. One is State versus Buchanan.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. One is a newsroom strike.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is fire this, fuck censorship.
Yeah. And fuck censorship is all capitalized too. So
it really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
It's a nice short page, I'll tell you that. It gets right to the point.
It really, really does. So I mean, who we kidding? We're here for geographic reasons. So should we just click on Oregon?
Are we? Do you think that that's it? Do you think that you don't think that there's anything else? There's not like a link to the actual, what was the name of the sea again? Salish?
The Salish Sea.
Salish Sea. Yeah. I don't even know exactly where that is.
Well, she said Washington, which is north of Oregon.
She did say Washington. Yeah.
I'm not even seeing Oregon as a link here. Like you can get to Eugene, Oregon.
Oh,
you can't get to just Oregon itself.
Seriously? Is that true? Boy, it does seem to be the case.
This is with the exception of the people who died of dysentery on their way up the Oregon Trail, we are perhaps the most tortured people going down this path.
Interesting.
I mean, the word Oregon appears on this page 9,000 times.
It does. It absolutely does. And there's a list of the Oregon Newspaper Publisher Association. So all the newspapers in Oregon. There is a University of Oregon breakdown of all the different. There's the Oregon Institute for Marine Biology. Maybe that's what we should click on.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Really?
I like that. I like that more than Eugene, Oregon, or whatever other.
Yeah, I guess my only concern about it is it's going to be a very short page, but at least it's interesting. Yeah.
Well, and it's marine biology.
Right.
So that's at least in the direction of finding feet in the sea.
Oh, God. All right, let's do it. The Oregon Institute of Marine Biology. It's down at the bottom underneath you expand it out. University of Oregon.
Oh, okay, there it is. The Oregon Institute of Marine Biology. Where is it? It's somewhere in here. There it is.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's do it.
You found it? All right.
It's also known as the OIMB.
It is. And it's the Marine Station of the University of Oregon, located in Charleston, Oregon, at the mouth of Coos Bay. Coos Bay. Which is unfortunately not the sea that we're looking for, but I was kind of hoping it would be. I was hoping we were just gonna fall upon these. We were just gonna trip over some dismembered feet, but
yeah, no,
unfortunately not the case. And I will say, as I was concerned, a very short page.
It is true. It is very short.
Ah, good Lord.
It is very short. I mean, Coos Bay theoretically could get us into water, but
yeah,
it's also likely to be a very short page and not have a lot of positive opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, it at least gets us into the Pacific Ocean, though, and I think at this point, we've got to get a move on. So I think maybe Coos Bay is going to be the best, as opposed to anything else that I see on here.
Coos Bay, no, I love it. Coos Bay, it is.
Coos Bay, which is COOS.
Yes. BAY.
Coos Bay, which is a great name. It is a great name.
So there is a disambiguation page.
That's what I was about to say. There's a disambiguation for it. It's
so the
largest
Coos
and deepest,
River,
the largest and deepest port. The port of Coos Bay is the largest and deepest port between San Francisco and the Columbia River.
Good to know.
Yeah. So is the Coos River listed on here. The Pacific Ocean is listed on here. So that may be the way to go because, as you were concerned, an incredibly short page. Even shorter
I will say this about the Pacific Ocean. It is a very large body of water. In fact, it is the biggest body of water.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only other thing I see on here that could possibly be a way to go is the Oregon Coast Range. Oh, no, never mind. That's a mountain range. That's a bad idea. We don't want to go back inland. We've gotten to the water. Let's stick with the water.
All right. So here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, do it.
So Coos Bay, there is a link on here for inlet. Coos Bay is an S-shaped inlet.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. Yeah. So we know that the Salish Sea, according to our good friend Sue Salvi, is on the West Coast near Washington.
Sue Salvi gave us the Salish Sea.
She did. It was very selfish of her. I feel like inlet is going to be the exact type of body of water that the Salish Sea is. So we should go with that.
Oh, would a sea be an inlet?
I think
I'm not saying it is or isn't. I just don't know.
I think that's the best we have.
So you think inlet is better than Pacific Ocean, of which the Salish Sea is definitely part?
Definitely. Because the Pacific Ocean is huge.
Right.
It's literally the largest body of water on the planet.
I understand, but it's going to have like probably at the bottom, it'll have a purple thing and it'll be like all the seas that are connected to it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what, Matt? I've been very forgiving and generous with your many false steps. And I know that you're still recovering from playing catch with your ghost dad.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah.
In your corn baseball maze, but I feel like inlet is the way to go, and I'm going to have to put the hammer down.
All right, I'm going to follow you. I will. It'll be interesting to see if you're right. Let's go see.
Okay, it is the good news is it's a very short page.
It is a super short page. It has nothing about any seas. It has a bunch of sounds. Fjords.
It does, however, have a section called Coastal Geography, which is very, very interesting. But even without going all the way down there under the sea also, it says British Columbia coast.
Well, but we don't want British Columbia.
So here's a fun fact, and I know this because I recently was in Vancouver for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
Vancouver is just to the north of Seattle, Washington.
Yes.
And there's a whole lot of inlets and waterways and whatnot that connect. Like you can sail in a ship from Vancouver to Seattle without ever having to go out into the wider Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
So I feel like British Columbia coast is exactly where we want to be. That's a heavy sigh right there, my friend.
Yeah, it is a heavy sigh because I don't agree. Unfortunately, what I was hoping was down at the bottom here, I was going to see C linked, and it's not. We've got a lot of other terms that are like geography when it comes to water, but C ain't one of them. Oh, wait a minute. This is what we should have been looking for the entire time. Undertow.
No. Boo. Boo. I'm going to have to put my foot down. I can't.
Yeah. Why did you even pick that thing up? That's what I'm curious about.
I can't stand it anymore.
Oh, so you really think that British Columbia coast is the way to go?
100%.
All right.
You're insane if you don't think that's going to get us closer than where we're at now.
Well, I'm not saying it's not going to get us closer than where we are now. I'm just saying there might be other things on here that get us even closer.
Okay. Like, this is literally where we're trying to get to, is the fucking British Columbia coast.
No, we're not trying to get to... British Columbia is north of where you're trying to get. Puget Sound might actually be better than what you're trying to get to.
British Columbia and Washington are right. They're like Siamese twins or conjoined twins, whatever the popular term.
Stop. Because if you mouse over Puget Sound, it says an inlet of the Pacific Ocean and part of the Salish Sea.
Uh-huh. Look at that. All right, fine.
Thank you.
You win this round.
Puget Sound it is.
We don't know that the British Columbia coast wouldn't have gotten us there.
We don't know that, but we do know that Puget Sound will.
Okay, so all right. The
in
Salish
fact, this Puget Sound could have what we're looking for.
It could have a link directly to the great mystery of the Salish Sea.
It could.
Foot discoveries.
History. I'm looking at history. I'm not seeing anything about feet.
There's a list of fishes in the Salish Sea. I'm not seeing it.
No, I can't come up with a good
a foot fish.
A good foot fish.
Reference?
Yeah, fish foot.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Puget Sound.
I guess a sole is probably the best.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good. That would have been good. Yep. That's what I should have gone with.
We'll go back. We'll edit that in like it was a clever
joke.
I'll
put it. I'll fix it in post.
All right, there we go.
I mean, it's we're gonna have to go through the Salish Sea. I think. I don't think that there's another way out of here.
I like it. Salish Sea it is.
All right, that's right up near the top, I believe. Right? Yep, there it is. Salish Sea.
Indeedly doodly.
Salish Sea, and what do we got? Salish Sea. I mean, if anyone on this page, we're sunk.
Then we're fucked. We're totally fucked. I mean, why would you have a thing about a sea and not have a link about the mysteries of... There it is.
Oh, you
under
found it?
history, main article, Salish Sea human foot discoveries.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Since August 20th,
2007, at least 20 detached human feet have been found. Wow. On the coast of the Salish Sea in British Columbia. Thank you. You're welcome.
Wow. You're right. You're right. Okay. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Good heavens.
Turns out you were right, which is shocking to us all, but is true.
And they have a list of all of the discoveries. Ah!
What?
Oh, no. Oh, God. No, this is terrible.
Oh, no.
I beg you, dear listener, do not go to the Salish Sea Human Foot Discoveries Wikipedia page and read the individual foot entries. Oh my God.
Oh no.
Thankfully there are no pictures, but boy howdy.
Oh Lord.
There are some vivid descriptions here.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to read any more of this. Okay.
Whoo!
Well, we have done it, Jethro. We have found it.
We have. We did in fact find it.
I'm happy to say. I'm not sure what I should say.
I need to go wash my eyes out.
Oh, it's discovered on the coast of the islands of British Columbia and in the U.S. cities of Tacoma and Seattle. So there you go. All right. Well, so that's that. We have to see now how we did as far as our predictions were concerned.
Yeah, where'd you come in?
Well, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I underestimated. I thought we were going to do a little better than we did, but
I think it's likely that we both underestimated.
Yeah. So our total today was a record of the season high 11.
Wow.
11.
Bowsers.
Yeah. So I am 4 under that. I am at 7.
You're at 7.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you had me, I guess, 6.
Oh, so wow. You had a little more faith in us, but it turns out
and clearly it was misplaced.
We both thought we were going to do better than we did, but hey, we did it. We got there, and what an interesting topic. What a disturbing topic. But we did it. We found it, and I guess next week, we'll walk away from there. I don't know about that.
Maybe we'll hop away. Good heavens. Well, thank you, Matt, for going on this stimulating journey.
Mm-hmm.
And be careful out there, people. Keep your feet attached to you.
Hey everybody, Matt Hartman here. Thanks so much for listening to Drunkard's Walk. A big thank you to Jesse L. Lee for our theme music and Nick Harmio for our artwork. And again, a big thank you to you for being a listener. If you have not had a chance to head on over to pittsburghmagazine.com and vote in the Best of the Berg Readers poll to give Drunkard's Walk a vote for Best Podcast, take a second and go do that if you don't mind. You can just go to, like I said, pittsburghmagazine.com, go to the Best of the Berg, go to Personalities, and you will find Drunkard's Walk under the podcast category there. Give us a vote. We would really appreciate it. Of course, we always love all of your ratings and reviews as well. Of course, after asking for that, I have to let you know that we are going to be off for a couple of weeks here. We've had a couple of things come up that are going to prevent the release of the next episode, but don't worry, we will be back. It just might be a couple weeks. So in the meantime, go back and listen to some old episodes, do some voting. You have until April 30th to do that. We would really appreciate it. And take care, everybody.